Hey friends, Ram Man here. You might find some of that information helpful. May save you some grief, may save you some time, and may save you some money. Hey, so wanted to go over this Chevrolet IFS lock and hub kit. Here it is, March 11th, 2023. So we probably send out, 4, 5, or 6 of these, or 8 of these a month, depending on the season. This right here is going to Carrollton, Georgia. And Haynes, he called up, he said, I want that. He's got him a 2006. We do a lot of that mid-2006 here. Here's an 8 here. He said, I want the lock and hubs. I want that badass 30 spline setup, Dana 60 setup. See, these are custom ends on the shafts. To my knowledge, we're the only ones in the world that do these Chevrolet IFS lock and hubs. So, you gotta have splines on the end to have lock and hubs. Arthur warned, you gotta have splines on the end of the shaft in order to have lock and hubs. You do not need nuts. Matter of fact, there ain't any nuts on lock and hubs. You don't need no nuts. You do not need nuts on lock and hubs. That's a spline hub shaft. Okay, so, and he decided to go with these upgrade. These are these badass Warren lockers right here. That's what he decided to go with. And of course, what most of y'all folks don't know is that buggy that you got, that four-wheel drive, you didn't know that, but it's basically a full-time four-wheel drive. That wheel is bolted onto that hub. That hub has splines on the inside of it, which is splined to a shaft. So if that tire's rotating, then these stub shafts are rotating, and them inner axle shafts are rotating, and it just goes on, and the pinion's turning, and it just goes on, doesn't it? Lock and hubs are the only thing that disconnect the axle at the axle end. So, you know, they sold you a full-time four-wheel drive vehicle, which most four-wheel drives are engaged less than 0.0001 of the life of the vehicle. You figure that out. 100,000 miles on a truck. 100,000 miles on your typical four-wheel drive in urban does not have over a mile of distance of four-wheel drive. They've been used at the boat ramp, been used to get out of the mud hole at the ranch, been used to get out of the mud hole at the gate, slipped off the road, but probably most have not been engaged over a mile. And most have never been engaged over 10 miles. So, that's what you're carrying around all the time, a bunch of old bullshit that you don't need. And you see right here, you see that this hub is independent of this shaft. This is the way it should be. This is a two-wheel drive. You should only have four-wheel drive when you feel like it. Not all the time. That factory stiffed you and you don't even know it. They're in control. You ain't in control. Lock and hubs is the only thing that puts you in control. The other thing that they do is, of course, anybody that ain't stupid in automobiles knows that a two-wheel drive will outperform a four-wheel drive in most performance parameters. The braking will decrease because you're not dragging that front end. Two-wheel drives accelerate faster than four-wheel drives. Two-wheel drives have a higher top end. Two-wheel drives are much more efficient. Don't wear out the front end. Takes about 30 horsepower to drag that front end, 20 to 30 just to drag that front end around. And of course, the wear and tear. So, they tried to come up with all these axle disconnects since the mid-90s, about 94, whether it be a push button, levers, axle disconnects, vacuum hubs that fail. Ma Mopar's on its, I think, 4th rendition of an axle disconnect. All because they believe that drivers are too fucking lazy to exit the vehicle and turn the knob. That's what they believe, and they're going to stick to their guns. These horns, you have to turn them almost a full 360, and they have an extremely positive engagement. So that's all I had to do. Now I'm engaged in full-wheel drive because I want to be, not because I have to be, because I want to be. And then when I get done doing what I need to be doing for that very short duration, I am back in two-wheel drive with everything disconnected. Tell you another thing it allows you to do. Allows you to put that thing in 4 low and maneuver around without having the front wheels engaged. Some people do that, mess around in yards, and water well diggers and people at the boat ramp just want the low range, so it allows you to do that. The other thing locking hubs do is, if for some reason you should break an axle, for any reason whatsoever, if you have a spline hub and you break this, you're deadline. You ain't going nowhere, no how, no way. With this right here, you were to break any of this right here, doesn't matter what it is, here, 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 wherever, you disconnect and you drive on home. There you go. We're getting ready to ship out this set to Georgia. That nice snug fit. Aren't those beautiful shafts? I love putting it in a nice snug fit, all lubed up and ready to go. So there you go. Get you some locking hubs for your truck and start taking control. And that factory sold you a bill of goods because you was naive and ignorant and didn't know that you was driving the full-time, full-wheel drive. Bye-bye. God bless you. God bless America. And happy trucking.